NFL officiating was just terrible this weekend. Like I feel like every weekend is terrible, but this weekend it was just atrocious. The Colts game, um, the Eagles Dolphins game to an extent, and then the terrible placement in the Steelers versus Rams game. Like that's tough. That's tough. Like it's pretty ridiculous how this happens week in, week out. Like they got to do something about it. Like the easy fix, like it's not even that hard. Like dude, just make them full time. Make them full time. Give them like some classes. Hold them accountable. Once they're full time, you could fine them. Once they're full time, like you could hold them more accountable. Like it's like something needs to be done. How does the NFL just keep ignoring this? Just keeps making them part time. Like dude, this is like $1 billion franchise, probably more than $1 billion. I don't know the exact number, but to not have full time refs and like the number one sport in the U.S., like the NFL is king. The NBA is back today. And there's probably a reason they're back on a Tuesday. Like if you think about it, there's probably articles about this, but off the top of my head, off the dome, the reason they're coming back on a Tuesday is because they know they don't want to come back on a Sunday. They don't want to compete against the NFL. They probably don't want to come on a Saturday because college game day is, king. They take over all the ratings. And then Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football. So you have Tuesday, you have Wednesday, and then you have, what else is left? Friday. So Tuesday is probably why the NBA is coming back. But like I said, the NFL is king. The NFL runs the ratings in the U.S. They have the most fans by a landslide. They have the most ticket sales, like all this crazy stuff. Like the NFL is king, and for them to not have dedicated full-time officials is just insane. And like I know it's good and bad. Kind of like VAR and football. Like some weeks it's gonna get you, some weeks it's gonna get the other team. At the end of the day, at the end of the season, if you look back at it, hopefully it cuts 50-50. But it's so sad to see this happening. Like the Colts game, dude, the ball landed like 10 yards out of bounds. Like my roommate, like I said, he's a Colts fan, so he was so upset. Like, and I couldn't believe it either. But I'm a fan of the art of clowning and talking shit. So in the heat of the moment, as it happened, I was kind of just antagonizing my roommate and kind of messing with him. But obviously that was a terrible call. That was an atrocious call. Like the ball is landing 10 meters out of the field. Like even Wemby, 7'5" Wemby couldn't do a toe drag swag and catch that. Like there was no way. No one could have caught that. And they called PI. And then the illegal touching down the field to save him on that turnover, that was terrible too. Or like that was iffy at best. And like I said, the feisty Rams, Nakua having another amazing game. The feisty Rams. McVay should have had some timeouts there, but overall this season, he's making the Rams feisty. Like people had the Rams doing terrible this year, being like a just awful team, and they've been very competitive. So I know that's a tough loss by the Rams. Who knows if they would have, came back and gotten the ball back and done anything with it. But the fact that the game ends right there with the first down, and it's a terrible placement, like insane. And for the Eagles to get no flags on Sunday Night Football, like just off the top of my head, I could think about the, I believe it was a 4th down or 3rd down play where Tua throws it to the left side of the field and the wide receiver is kind of stopping and trying to come back like to a back shoulder catch, and the Eagles defender like grabs his face mask for like a split second or like a second, and no call, easily could have been a first down. Maybe that changes the game. Overall, I did think the Eagles were the better team and they deserved to win, but zero penalties the whole game, and it's just pretty unheard of for that to happen. So something needs to happen. Like I said, NFL's king. It's a money making machine, and if you tie yourself to the NFL, like you're gonna make money. on TikTok. They have all these TikTok shops, people selling sweaters, people selling anything branded by the NFL, probably making hella dough because NFL sells. NFL is king, dude. NFL is king of ratings, king of merch, king of anything. Like these little videos that I make, these little podcasts that I make, the views that I get, it's because of the NFL. NFL is king, like I said. And for them to not have dedicated referees for this billions of billions dollar entity, like it's insane. So we'll see if anything happens. Probably not. Probably the only thing that's gonna change is the different referees that come in and out. But at the end of the day, they're probably never gonna be full time, and that's gonna be the excuse that the NFL will always have. Old reliable excuse. I was just talking about old reliable excuses off topic with the homies. Like one of the best excuses is to be like, like let me check in with my girl real quick. Like you get invited somewhere, and you don't want to like seem like an asshole or tell someone no off the bat, off rip. So you're like, let me check in with my girl, see if we're not doing anything, and then I'll check back with you. And then you come back with them 5 minutes later, and you're like, damn, bro, like my girl planned something already, so I'm not free. Like I would have gone, dude. Like trust me, I would have been there, but the missus has something planned. Old reliable gets you out of any situation. For the NFL, that's their old reliable. They're part-time referees. What can we do? Make them full-time. That's what you could do. But it is what it is. Most NFL fans are just gonna suck it up week in, week out, and hope we get something better, even though we haven't gotten anything better. Like I'm still thinking about the pass interference, Saints against Rams. Like it's not gonna change, dude. The refs are always gonna be ass, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately.